SIU Bay here, African Institute of Martial Arts. Hello to all my family and friends still dealing with the pandemic. Do the right thing, wash your hands, keep your distance, wear your mask. You know the drill. Listen to the scientists, not the cynics. Alright, today we're going to talk about the 7 principles of a good shot. Pistol. Alright, some of these things can be transferred over to long weapons like rifles, like sight alignment, sight picture. We'll talk about that later. But the 7 principles that we use at the African Institute of Martial Arts are what we have in our course, the Responsible Firearms Ownership course, where we teach an element of marksmanship. So these are the 7 principles that we teach at the African Institute of Martial Arts. Now, if you had 7 shooters in the room and asked them the question, they would give you 7 different answers to get the same thing done. So these things are not etched in stone. A lot of things are relative to the pistol that you're using, revolver versus semi-automatic, in terms of your grip. Not your, some things transfer over, and we'll talk about that as well. So let me name them and then explain them. All right, principle number 1, eye to target sight line. That's when you have decided the battle is on. You focus in on your target. That's principle number 1. Principle number 2, presentation. How do you get your weapon? How you get your weapon into your eye to target sight line. That's very key. All right, some people coming from low ready, if you're a homeowner, we're probably talking it's already in your hand, high ready, low ready, cover, however you have your weapon, it's probably going to be in your hand, in your pajamas or butt naked. We don't know. Alright? So when you got that eye to target sight line in your head, you at low ready, really using it low ready, we don't want to swing that up. We want to have it come to the chest and diagonally come up from your sternum, bringing your weapon and your sights on your weapon into your eye to target sight line. During that process of ascent, when your weapon's coming up into your eye to target sight line, pick up your front sight, line them up with your back sights, your rear sights. That becomes your sight alignment. With that sight alignment, which is principle number 3, you place onto your target. Now, if your target is that orange spot on this toughtarget.com dry fire training target, then that orange spot is your target. So you take that sight alignment and you place it onto your sight picture, coming in from the sternum out, getting a nice square in your shoulders to the target. You don't want to do too much on squat, too much hunch your shoulders, move, step. You just want to be able to square your shoulders to the target, diagonally up from your sternum into your eye to target sight line. Develop your sight alignment, your sight picture. After that, number 5, apply your grip. This is holding on to your weapon. This is gripping your weapon. Grip can be something that is, again, debatable. Strength of your hand. Maybe between the sexes. I hope I don't get no negative feedback. But it's tighter than what you would be doing if you're just holding on to your weapon. Your grip is that in which you use all the time that you're discharging your weapon. All the time that trigger finger is moving, that's when you're applying your grip. Because that's how you control where you fire, where your rounds land, and your recoil. So the only thing that I could probably say about the grip that may be universal is get as much of your meat of both your hands onto the grip of your weapon. Thumbs down range. As much square your shoulders. Nice Sandra Lee stance. I know a lot of you old guys from the military of the 60s, like myself, learned the old Weaver stance. Yeah, okay, we're doing things different today. So Sandra Lee stance, square your shoulders to the target, bring that thing up diagonally into your eye to target sight line. Apply your grip. 4 and 3, that's what me. These fingers are plastic. The 2 thumbs are plastic. Alright, so we got that grip. Apply that grip. Stop breathing. Why we want to stop breathing? Not hold your breath. The difference in that is, if you tell people hold their breath to go, no, we ain't trying to store air. All right, stop breathing. Wherever you exhale, inhale, you stop right there. Because if you inhale, your weapon goes up. If you exhale, your weapon goes down. So stop breathing. That's very key in the sequence of the 7 principles. Stop breathing. Squeeze the trigger. All right, stop breathing. Squeeze the trigger, right? As that trigger comes back, if you had double action, single action, it doesn't matter. When you get to that drop point, you squeeze that trigger. Again, some things are relative to the size of the hand. What kind of grip do you have? All right, do you have molded grips? All that. The only thing that probably can be universal is that your finger placement on your trigger will probably be from that first notch to the tip, somewhere in that little space there, from here up. All right, mine is somewhere around that curl on my fingerprint. So that's why we practice. That's why we do these things, to get that feel for what it is. So there you have the 7 principles. Eye to target sight line. Presentation. Sight alignment. Sight picture. Apply your grip. Stop breathing. Squeeze the trigger. Now, having said that, those 7 principles that you apply, if you mess up one, it could throw your shot off. That's why we have all 7. So if you have too much trigger finger rather, it could pull you down to 7 o'clock when you're shooting. If you have 2 less, it could pull you up to 1 o'clock. If you don't grip tight enough, it's going to affect your recoil. All those things matter. Now, two things I want to say before we apply this on the target down there, is that these principles are good at, in my opinion, most pistol play takes place within 25 yards, let's say. That's conversation. Hey, mother! You know, they can hear you. People can hear you. So speed matters. At what point does speed overtake accuracy? I would say 15 feet and in. 15 feet and in, I would say that you probably can go in terms of these 7 principles. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. Eliminate sight alignment and sight picture, because inside of 15 feet, let me see, about right here where I'm standing right now is about 15 feet to the target. At 15 feet, speed matters more than precise accuracy. So you could hit an 8.5 by 11 inch, which as you can see is center body mass. You can hit that target if you have a good eye to target sight line. So you could eliminate, if you got that eye to target sight line, you can get that in there, boom, start pulling the trigger. Because speed matters more than precise accuracy inside of 15 feet. So I say 20 feet and out, that 5 feet in between is a judgment call. 20 feet and out, start to aim. Include sight alignment and sight picture. So with those 7 principles, I'm going to do them. Take 10 shots at the target, do it all 10 times, presentation, all 7 principles. I'm going to tune in onto focus in on my iPad over here so that you can get a nice, so y'all can do this with me, all right, at least experience it with me, all right? Okay, so I'm going to be shooting on the target. I'm back at 20 feet, shooting at that target down there. My toughtarget.com dry fire training tool is a great tool. Look it up. The dry fire cards come along with them, a bunch of drills and everything. It's good for developing your eye to target sight line as you move from target to target. So let's go, here we go. Shots to the target down there, 20 feet out, presenting every round. Here we go. All right, now, the thing I didn't mention, you have 1 second to do all 7 principles. Okay? Now, I'm coming back. Let me get on the screen here because I want to make this explicitly clear. Darn, I'm out of focus. Okay, never mind. I'll get you in a second. Let's go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, so there you have it. And you can see, using the principles of the 7 that we mentioned, how to target sight line, presentation, sight alignment, sight picture, apply your grip, squeeze the trigger. Alright, the thing I'm going to say earlier is dry fire laser training. Absolutely. Positively. Unequivocally. Beyond a shadow of a doubt. Does not take the place of firing live ammunition. It prepares you better to fire live ammunition. However, you have to take your behind to the range. Alright? Make no mistake about it. Until you add noise, smoke, and recoil, this is all just a game. Firearms are serious business. Now, what dry fire laser training does do for you is it allows you to create scenarios that you generally couldn't do at the range and get used to those procedures till it becomes a programmatic reflex action in your hands the way you handle your weapon. In the interest of full disclosure, last year, pre-pandemic, right, I was going to the range twice. I go every other week. Thursday usually, get in there 11 o'clock, morning crowd left by 10, the 10 o'clock crowd. The lunch crowd hadn't arrived yet, so I'm right in there, 11 to 12. Shoot 50 rounds through each pistol, 25 rounds through each shotgun, in, out, hour, done. Now I just go once a week and I do this. And when I go back to the range, I must say that there's been a microscopic improvements in how I function at the range, which is the key. Because again, like I said, until you add noise, smoke, and recoil, it's all just a game. 7 principles of a good shot, African Institute of Martial Arts, Saddle Bay. Stay safe.